Dan Plasma, full contact fighter, here with Omar Gooding. How's it going, sir?
Man, excellent, excellent. Just saw a really good fight, man. Real jazzed about it, man.
That was legendary. His second knockout of Mayorga, who's a great, tough fighter. Do you think it was a legit body shot, or was it south of the border like Mayorga claimed?
No, I think it was legit. That's why he quit, and that it was over with. Like that rhyme now? You like that rhyme?
That wasn't bad. Do you think all the smack talking that Mayorga was doing, was that a product of him just being hurt and just not having anything left in the tank?
Absolutely, man. I mean, he's got a strong chin. That's definite, man. I mean, these type of fighters, these boxers, these Mexican fighters, they're known for their hard heads. Nicaraguan, excuse me.
Latin fighters, but there's the warrior blood.
Exactly, warrior blood, man. And he's a real tough fighter, so we already knew that coming in. I mean, it took him 12 rounds the first time, so this time he got him out of there in, what, was it 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, I was predicting 8, but 6 is good enough.
I was still surprised. Ellie Seckback and the other journalist and I were thinking like 1, 2, 3, or 4. I was guessing more like 4 because, you know, Mayorga plays it off like he's smoking cigarettes and drinking, but he's actually probably training and running.
Yeah, no, he's really actually, I think he's pretty sound, man. I'm just beginning to be a studier of the sweet science, man, because I'm working on a project. We just, a production company that I work with acquired the rights to the Joe Louis story.
Oh, wow.
So I hired a trainer, shout out to KG Super Trainer, and he's got me looking at boxing in a different way. You know, I'm looking at the feet. I'm looking from the waist down. I'm watching how they turn into the punches. I'm watching how he's stepping into it. You know, and how he's putting his weight behind it. And the boy was throwing some solid blows while he was talking crazy and all this. So I think he judged his power and said, I think I can take a couple of these. Now, if he did this and felt like we've seen before, it would have been entertaining if nothing else. But I think he knew what he was doing.
I think that tactic was actually effective because he was getting into Mosley's head. And he was actually getting him to stand right in front of him, which is the danger zone. What do you got going on in the future? What projects you got?
So I'm working on a show called Family Time, which is on the Bounce Network, which is the first over-the-air broadcast network for African-American programming, which means it's free television. A lot of people don't know that they have Bounce right now. If you were just to cut off all your cable, hook up an antenna to your television and push scan on your television sets, you would see a lot of channels that a lot of people don't know that are free TV. And this one is called Bounce Television. It was founded by Andrew Young and Martin Luther King III. My television show is called Family Time. We just started our 3rd season, and it's a sitcom. And it's a throwback to the sitcoms that I grew up on, not only watching, but that I was a part of. I did a TV show called Hang with Mr. Cooper. I did another one called Smart Guy. You know, and I started on Nickelodeon, then I started doing movies and so forth and so on. So this is, it's been about 4 or 5 years since I've actually done sitcoms back, and we're kind of revitalizing that. Now, the executive producer is Bentley Kyle Evans Sr., who is an EP on Martin and on Jamie Foxx show. So he knows Comic Time, and he knows, you know, the type of comedy that we like growing up, you know, Cosby Show, that type of thing. So we're really excited about it. 3rd season, October 6th. Tune in, watch us.
I know it's in the news a lot. I got to ask you. Ronda Rousey versus Mayweather. MMA rules.
MMA rules. Oh, Ronda.
Yeah.
Ronda.
Armbar first round?
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why he would never take the fight. If he sees her in the streets, the bodyguards are separated, nigga down the way. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know, I mean, I think he's taking a lot of blows for his mouth and the way he acts. We don't know exactly what he's thinking or if half of it's publicity and half of it's not. So, I don't know. I think that a lot of that takes away from his overall legacy, which is kind of a shame because back in the day, you know, Muhammad Ali talked trash all the time. You know what I mean? But they didn't take that away from his overall greatness. I think when it's all said and done, Mayweather will get his props where he really deserves.
If I'm not mistaken, though, Muhammad Ali didn't have any convictions for domestic violence.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But, you know, again, but he also had some losses.
Yeah. Should we hold athletes to a higher standard like that?
Absolutely not. For me, you know, because I'm a Laker fan, I love Kobe Bryant. You know, he went through all his things, but when he's in I don't care what his personality is. I don't care what he does off the court.
But they're role models. Shouldn't they represent
on the court?
Okay.
Sure, but you know, some people I don't know. Now the thing is, we're talking about a bunch of stuff here. Now we're talking about Kobe Bryant. You know, I mean, now him. You know, I looked at the situation with him and Shaq. Shaq should have mentored him better, I thought. So when he got caught in the cops, and he's not from the States, and guys are putting him up to these state rules, like, dude, you should have known better. Street rules, blah blah blah. He don't know better. Well, how could he be just supposed to know this because he's black? Like, come on out, man. You know what I mean? So, I mean, with Kobe Bryant, that's a whole nother thing. With Mayweather, he probably knows better. Yeah. He probably had a lot more training, you know. But then again, look at Pops and look at everybody else who's kind of been in and out in jail and all that type of stuff. So you kind of, you know, a product of your surroundings. So at the end of the day, if we can just judge them on their body of work inside the ring as their profession, then I think it would be a different story.
Interesting, man. Thanks so much for your time. Such an honor.
Right on. Thanks, man.